Hello everybody, it's Bill with Strong Healthy Seniors. Today, I would like to talk about how we can exercise consistently. I'm going to show you how. First of all, let's talk about how exercise is so beneficial for seniors. We know that the American Heart Association, the CDC, due to massive studies, have concluded that a sweet spot for exercise that benefits us tremendously is about 150 minutes per week of moderate physical activity, which is only about 30 minutes per day for about 5 days. Really, that's not very much. We can do that. What does that get us? A reduction of over 31% in all-cause mortality, all causes of health-related deaths. So, isn't that incredible? But we find out statistically that over 14%, or under 14%, of people actually exercise. And that over 35% of people 75 or older are completely inactive. And we see that a reason for this may be that 85 to 95% of people 60 to 65 years old deal with at least one chronic illness. And people, there's 60 to 85% of people in that age range deal with 2 or more chronic illnesses, so I'm saying that it's not because people are lazy, it's because they're sick. And it's not easy when you get older and you don't have as much energy. Your metabolism slows down. You may have lower testosterone, hormone levels, different things affect you when you get older. Makes it harder to exercise. It may be difficult to find the time. So there's different barriers you may face to getting started in exercise. And so, like I said, a solution to this is to make exercise much easier while being quick and effective. You see, you don't want to do exercise unless it's effective. So, well, let me tell you a little bit about my story health-wise. Is that I dealt with several chronic illnesses myself. Arthritis. I was diagnosed with arthritis for over 25 years. Turned out to be high blood sugar, and I helped to alleviate this through my diet. I was pre-diabetic. I sure didn't want diabetes. For over 10 years, I was worried about this constantly, and I learned how to reduce this through my diet, lowering my glycemic index foods and learning more about glycemic load. So I also was beginning to get hypertension, high blood pressure, which was concerning me. So health issues that I'd never faced before, I'd started to face when I was getting older. And that's what happens when we get older. We may face some of these health issues, and it makes it difficult for us to exercise like we used to when I was young. I used to be able to eat pretty much anything I wanted. I used to kind of brag about it. And I could exercise a lot. I felt good, as I got older. And, I'll tell you this, that I see a lot of younger people doing videos about how to exercise and telling us we should do more. But young people don't understand how it is when you get older. One thing about me on this channel, I am an old person. I'm 70 years old, so I do know. But I've been exercising for over 50 years, and in this time, I came across a way to exercise effectively that really is amazing. I'll tell you, it really is amazing. It allows me to exercise consistently, and along with an improved diet, I've made major health changes. I've reversed these chronic diseases that I had. I no longer have them. I'm no longer arthritic. I go out here and raise kids around the neighborhood. I used to limp around. I couldn't hardly walk. I was looking for a wheelchair or a cane or a walker. At one time, I was holding on to things to get around. I was in a lot of pain. And to exercise was almost out of the question. I have to improve my health first. So it was through very easy, very simple exercise and some changes in my diet that turned out it was way easier than I thought. It's way more delicious to eat healthy than I thought, than people are saying. Let me tell you a little story about how to get started in exercise. I like to compare it to when I was a young kid. I was coming home from school one day. It snowed. I live in Kentucky, so it snowed that day. And I lived at the bottom of a hill. And so I'm walking home from school, and there's a slight hill going up to the top. And I thought, I'm going to get me a handful of snow. And I'm going to start a snowball here, You know what a snowball is. It gets bigger and bigger. So you start with just a handful of snow, just to get it started, don't you? Real simple, real easy. And I started rolling that little ball, and it started out so little, I thought, well, this isn't going to do anything. But as I kept going, it kept picking up more and more snow and getting stronger and stronger, this ball did. So when I got to the top, I thought, well, now, this snowball's pretty strong now, but I can start going downhill because the resistance will be less. So I started this ball going downhill, and it was so much easier. The resistance is less, and it's just going till it kind of scared me. It was getting so big and so strong that it's almost getting out of control. So anyway, when I compare this to starting to exercise, it's a little uphill at first, just to get started. And you just want to get started easily, but when you get to the top of that hill and your health's improved, you eliminate the resistance or reduce it a lot to where it's not as hard, and you can do more, and you can get stronger, and it's like stopping that snowball once it gets started. Once you start getting healthy, and maybe you reverse some of these chronic illnesses. Maybe you feel way better. Maybe you have more energy, and maybe and through a workout that is easy and you can stay consistent and you don't get injured, you can keep doing it. You can just, for the rest of your life. You can do it for the rest of your life and improve your health tremendously. So this is what I've found that's helped me, and I'm optimistic, and I don't want to say confident, but hopeful that I can fight off these terrible chronic diseases. I mean, heart disease, stroke, even some cancers, diabetes. I could go on and on. Terrible diseases that can be prevented and sometimes reversed through exercise and with an improved diet. Think about this. Now, I talk about this sometimes, that I found out that the diet I'd been told was actually not the best. I really go now for a much cleaner, I call it a balanced vegan diet, because you see what's going on is that animal foods on a cellular level, contain LDL cholesterol, which is what clogs our arteries and things. And it also can be high in saturated fats, which can lead to obesity and different things, and even can raise our blood sugar in ways. So just watching our diet, reducing our sugar, reducing the animal foods, we can reduce our risk of heart disease and other diseases. This is found out. So anyway, but plant-based foods contain HDL cholesterol, which actually helps to clean our arteries. It doesn't it doesn't have the bad cholesterol that clogs our arteries. It actually tries to clean it out and detoxifies it some. So I've gone more to a plant-based diet. And since sometimes it's a little challenging to get the protein that I want through plant-based foods, I include a little bit of nutritious animal foods like eggs. I may eat an egg from time to time because I want to just, I just feel like it's easier to do. So I do it that way. So, something I wanted to tell you that crossed my mind when I was preparing for this video was a quote from Ernest Hemingway when he was talking about writer's block. And it has to do with just starting small. So he's talking about writer's block in the book A Movable Feast. I love to read Hemingway. And he said, start with the truest sentence that you know. And then write another true sentence. And then keep writing true sentences. It seems so easy. But I thought about fitness block, you could call it, where it's hard to get started in fitness. Just start with a good repetition. And then do another good repetition. It doesn't really have to be that many to start with. Just start out with a good repetition or a few. Here's about what my routine is. And it just makes it so easy that it's difficult to resist it. It's difficult to not do it. I said, I'll just go downstairs. My gym's in my basement, and I would do like about a minute on my bike. About a minute. I said, hard not to do that. And once I started on that bike for about a minute, I started feeling good. My heart rate's going, my blood's flowing, breathing, I said, well, maybe I'll do a chin-up. I did a chin-up. I did a really good chin-up. Just one. I said, well, that's enough for today. That's all I did. Patted myself on the back, put a mark on, put an X on my calendar. Next day I came back. I really wasn't feeling like exercising. See, that's the point of it. I just wasn't real motivated. But I can do 1 minute on my bike. And I can do one repetition of an exercise. So I did my 1 minute on my bike, and I did another repetition. Then I did another repetition of another exercise. And I said, well, I did it again, 2 days in a row. And I came back the next day, did the same thing. I had another repetition of another exercise. And I just kept, gradually going. But if I didn't feel like, adding another exercise, I found out that if you just improve the exercise you're doing, we always think we have to add weight or we have to add repetitions, If you just improve what you're doing, that's improving, and is it not? Even if you're just doing one repetition, if you're improving it day by day, you're getting better. So, this is what I've learned. That just to, really what we're building here is we're not here to build huge muscles. I'm not here to teach you how to be Mr. and Miss Olympia. I don't even know if it's all that healthy for seniors. When you see octogenarians, people who live a long time, they're not huge muscular people. They're healthy people. They're healthy enough to still be living. And they usually are physically active. And we're always wondering what they eat. What do you eat to do that? Something about their diet is healthy. So if we're looking at a healthier diet and remaining physically active, and if we're not physically active, how can we become physically active? How can we take a step? Take that first step. That's what I'm here for. I'm just here to encourage you, to help you get up out of the chair, to help you get up off the sofa, to help you get out of bed, to help you get moving. Just take a step today, and then tomorrow we'll take another step. And we'll just keep taking little steps, won't we? And we'll get there. We'll get there and we'll get healthy. We'll be like that snowball rolling downhill. It's not easy at first. I know that. It's not. I've been there before. But just, I sometimes think that strength is not just muscles, It's about inner strength. It's about the strength to show up, to be consistent. It's not that easy. It takes determination, you see, to be consistent every day. So, think about that, be proud of yourself if you're being consistent. You're being strong mentally, in a way, and it's going to help you to be physically strong because it starts with mental strength, with our ability to just show up each day, and it's not 7 days a week, but say whatever you can do. If it's 1 day a week, let's start there. If you can just do one thing, let's just start. And then we'll just keep going. Because it's more than we were going to do. We'll just do a little. And then we will try to be consistent in it. We'll try to be structured. And try to, show up each day. I'll be here for you. I do a podcast. 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Pacific. And I've got clocks on the wall here if you see my podcast. This is the World Wide Web. Throughout the world, people can join me. When it's 11 o'clock a.m. here, it's about midnight in Asia. But throughout the world, it could be different times where you could join me. So, and I would like to do more than one exercise podcast a day where I can be with more people throughout the world, because I'd love to get more people just to get started. That's the thing. There's just not enough. When I said it's less than 14% of the people are exercising. How do we get more people exercising? It's not by telling them you have to do these demanding, difficult exercise routines and you have to build more muscle, it's daunting to look at, Let's make it's way easier. It just starts with a little snowball. It just starts with one step. It just starts with one repetition, you see. A minute, warming up. I'll use a bike. You can use a treadmill. You can walk in place. You can, dance, put on some music and move around for, that's all you're doing. You're just moving around for a minute. Just getting warmed up. Just getting started, just having fun with it. It's fun. Just get up. Come on. Let's have some fun with this. Get out of your chair. We can. I'll be here for you. We'll do this. How to exercise consistently. I can show you how. I've done it. I know how. I would love to show you how. I've got nutrition, diet tips that make eating healthier. I've done it. I love it. I love it so much. I just wouldn't trade it for nothing. I love to, it's not that I don't get with my family sometime. They may get a little annoyed if I don't eat with them. So, because I eat a healthy diet, I try to keep it healthy no matter where I go, restaurants or wherever, There's healthy food out there. When I go to the grocery store, pretty much produce department, a lot of nice fruits and vegetables, I'll get a bag of spinach, a bag of carrots, cucumbers, beets, kale, bag of grapefruit, bag of apples, potatoes, sweet potatoes, bananas, some raw nuts, almonds, and walnuts are great. People say that it's cheaper to eat unhealthy than that. No, I don't think so. I don't know where they're getting that. That I guess you can find healthy food that's expensive, so-called healthy food. It's probably processed. I don't know if it's really healthy. They advertise it as healthy. And, but to get healthy food at the grocery store, it's not that much. I mean, I could take $50 and almost fill a basket full of produce, so I don't see where people get it. And, there's other healthy foods in a grocery store. You kind of have to look for it. But some canned goods are healthy that I get, So, just kind of, and you can look around, try to look at being healthier, nutrition-wise, and starting to exercise a little. So I'm just here to get you started. I appreciate you joining me today. That's all I had for today. And again, I'm Bill with Strong Healthy Seniors. Thanks again for joining me. Tell your friends. Let's bring everybody along. I just want to get everybody started on a great fitness journey that will improve our health, make us better for our families, for our loved ones, our friends, for ourselves, for our pets, for everybody, to be here longer, to live longer, and to be happier and healthier and feel better. So, and I'll tell you a little something else that, when they say that eating healthy is costs more than eating unhealthy, well, think about doctor bills or the inconvenience of having to go to the doctor. A lot of my friends, they spend a lot of time going to the doctor. That's what I hear a lot, I'm going, this and that and other, and all the things, procedures, and, it's got to be expensive and inconvenient. And I guess painful and not feeling good, So I think there's a lot of reason to try to improve our health. Feeling better. Think about the money we can save. Think about how much more quality time we could spend with our loved ones, and just so many benefits to it. So kind of think about it. It might motivate you to get up and just get started a little. Go and join my podcast if you'd like. Starts about 11 o'clock. And I don't know, what time is it now? Probably getting close. My Fitbit's, I think it's out. So, there it is. It's about 10 o'clock. So I've got about an hour. In about an hour Eastern time. If you want to join me live, I'll be doing a live podcast on YouTube and maybe elsewhere. And so, I'll do a little exercise here. Today, I'm going to use some hand weights. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. I usually use some exercise equipment, but I'm going to try to show you how to do it a little easier with some hand weights and some of these bands they've got. I got the wrong set of them, but I'll try to use them pretty soon. But we'll get started showing you some easy ways to exercise. And I do join you so much. Appreciate you joining me. I'm going to try to put some links on here to my other videos where you can see how to exercise, and I'll show you the different exercises, how to do them. And it's really easy, but it's full body routine. It's just like one repetition, but it's really strong repetition. I'm feeling good, everybody, I am for 70 years old. And I just do these. It's a pretty strong, I call it a perfect repetition, You really give it a lot of effort, and you hold it, and then your negative is slow, and you stretch good. It's a good repetition. But it's something you can do every day. Not a lot of all this repetitive motion that causes injuries and takes so much time and fatigues us, It doesn't fatigue you that much. But it really builds strength. It's not for cardio, I admit that. If you want to do a little more cardio at the end, I encourage that. After we work out, you could just continue to ride your bike or, get on your treadmill for a while, dance a little longer, enjoy your workout. Enjoy it. As you'll start to feel better and better as that snowball rolls downhill, you'll feel better. And so, thanks for joining me. I'm going to shut up now. I always love talking to you. And I'll see you next time on Strong Healthy Seniors. Again, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.